Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to another in the series Curating Culture. I am Georgette Magashan Miller, Research Fellow at the African Caribbean Institute of Jamaica, Jamaica Memory Bank. And today, as our guest, it's going to be a very exciting episode. We have with us His Excellency Mayank Joshi, High Commissioner of India to Jamaica. Now, let me tell you a little about His Excellency before he gets into it. His Excellency Joshi assumed the office of High Commissioner of India to Jamaica on 25th of June 2024. He joined the Indian Foreign Service in 2003 and has held diplomatic assignments in France, Myanmar, Permanent Mission of India to the United Nations in New York and Japan. He has worked in various capacities in the Ministry of External Affairs in New Delhi and bilateral relations as Deputy Secretary of Sri Lanka, Bangladesh, and Myanmar from January 2012 to August 2014. Also a Secretariat of Founding Conference on International Solar Alliance from January 2018 to March 2018, and Disarmament and International Security Affairs from March 2018 to September 2020. His areas of interest include neighbourhood diplomacy, international security, and strategic affairs. He speaks Hindi, English, and French. Before joining the Indian Foreign Service, Mayank Joshi completed his postgraduate degree in management and started his professional career as a client servicing executive in the advertising field. Mayank Joshi is married to Isha Joshi. They have two children. His hobbies are camping and travel, chess, swimming, tennis, and golf. Welcome to Curating Culture.
Thank you, Ms. Miller. Thank you for the African Caribbean Institute for organizing this event. It's wonderful
Yes.
to be here.
Very nice to have you. So, as we celebrate the 180th anniversary of East Indian migration to Jamaica, tell us what's that's like and what's the pride that all East Indians are feeling now to be here for such a long time.
Yes, excellent. As first of all, as a High Commissioner, I would like to say that I am very happy to be here in this wonderful country. And as you may be aware, that there is a very strong Indian diaspora, Indian connect between India and Jamaica. The Indian diaspora here in Jamaica, both Indian origin, that is the people who are fourth generation and more, and then the Indian passport holders, that is which we call as non-resident Indians in Jamaica. They serve as a wonderful bridge between the two countries, and we have in so many years, centuries, developed very friendly and close relations. And it is in this context that this year, 2025, we are celebrating as the 180th year of arrival of Indians in Jamaica. As you can recall the history, the first ship which brought Indians to Jamaica was on 9th May in 1845,
Yes.
which brought in 261 Indians on the shores of Jamaica at the Old Harbor. In these so many years, 180 years, Indians have left a very, very strong, indelible mark in Jamaica's social and economic development, in culture, in language, and in cuisine. And this is what we are celebrating here this year.
Very, very good. So, let's get into your
Yeah, so
presentation.
great. No, thank you so much. Also, I thought I'll put in a small presentation just introducing about the life of Indians in Jamaica from the 1845 onwards. And in this context, I do not know how many of you are aware. You know, it's very important to note that many years have passed, but still we have a dearth of good academic records and good historical records about Indians in Jamaica. So the National Library in Jamaica, as well as some great scholars in the past, have tried to put together pieces by talking to Indians, by going and researching the libraries. And I really pay ode to those people who have put in together such efforts, because of which we know something about what Indians in Jamaica were all about. So one of them is, I would like to refer to Mrs. Lakshmi and Ajay Mansingh. They had put a wonderful book, the name was Home Away from Home, 150 years of Indian presence in Jamaica. This is a wonderful collection of, first I would say, work on in 1995, 1998, where they painstakingly went and did this work with the help of various government of Jamaica, National Library, and scholars of Jamaica, University of West Indies. Another book is the Transients to Settlers by Vereen Shepherd. At that time when she wrote this book, she was a professor, great academician, renowned academician of Jamaica in University of West Indies, and currently she is the chairperson of the Committee of Elimination of Racial Discrimination, and I had the opportunity of meeting her. And then we have also currently several people from the Indian origin who have a great historical record in their minds, and I keep meeting them. Dr. Akshay Mansingh, the son of Dr. Ajay and Lakshmi Mansingh, also has been good. And then there are several other Indians who carry a lot of records. So in this context, I'll just quickly go through the historical aspect, because without history, it's very difficult to know what is the current present situation. So we all know about the abolition of slavery in 1830s led to sharp reduction in the production of sugar and plantations in Jamaica. And this required an immediate filling in by laborers brought in from different countries. They tried laborers from England, Portugal, Germany, but they failed to work in these plantations. And then there came the Indo-Jamaica, the Indians, the Indian indentured laborers from India. As historical record is that the first Indian laborers were brought in British Guyana in 1838, and then consequently we saw them coming to Jamaica in 1845 in a ship called as, some records call it Bunter Hill, and then there is a Maidstone ship, but the idea was that they came by ship, and 260 Indians, which had 200 women, 28 women, 200 men, 28 women, and 33 children under 12 years of age. And there were many stories and many records which have been found out in various interactions with these and their children, how they, and also from India, we tried to get these records. Why these people came in. There were many reasons. Some were reasons of dream of better life, some were reasons of escaping from India for various reasons, so on. And it was a difficult journey. It was a difficult tearing away from their homeland to find a new homeland, a new future for themselves. This brought these Indians here. In total, as of record, we have from various sources, some sources say 36,412 Indians came by 1917. And then also not that they came, there were many Indians which went back. Roughly record says around 12,000 or more Indians went back, earning their indentured labor price, and then going back to their home country. All in all, it was a welcome to these people in Jamaica at that time. The ex-slaves welcomed them very well, and they integrated with the society, working in plantations. They were different kind of plantations at the time. Sugar plantations. Slowly, they also did fruits, and then they built on in rice plantations were also there till 1970s. How I do not know if you know that 1970s Indians were very good. They were successful in rice plantations, which was never been produced in Jamaica at that time. And as you can see, the next slide. There is these pictures which show, this is what picture was taken out. This is stamp which was issued in 150th anniversary of East Indian arrivals in Jamaica, and you can see down there are some pictures. So these pictures I have taken from the book by Mr. Mansingh and some from internet. I had to collate them quickly, So my courtesy to all of them who have from where I have taken these pictures. I hope it is useful to you to watch these pictures, because, and also to read the book. It is a very good book. It gives a deep insight into the life of Indians in Jamaica over many over 100 years or more. Also, the next slide, if you will see, it says that they were where they originated from. So India is a huge country, and these people who came to Jamaica, who are called as Girmitias. Now the Girmitias were located in the region of the northeastern part of India, the north part and northeastern part of India. We call these provinces as Uttar Pradesh and Bihar. So 95% came from them. And also there was religious diversity. There were Hindus, there were Muslims, there were Christians also. So they quickly integrated into the society, but they had their own challenges. The integration into society also meant that you practice your own culture, you practice your own beliefs, your own faith, you have your own way of life. And the Indians were, though they were practicing their own way of life, but however, the laws in Jamaica at that time were different under the British, and it was difficult for them to legalize what their practices were. So, for example, their Hindu weddings were unrecognized until 1958, and it was difficult for them. Now they were forced to marry, or let us say they chose to marry and into different populations like Africans, Creoles, Chinese, Hispanics. So there was a lot of cross mix, and that is what is peculiarly unique about Jamaica. Out of many, one people, they say, and the mix is now what the Jamaican think are. But they continue to maintain certain way of life, and they inculcated this into the Jamaican rich cultural heritage what we see today. So the next slide, you will see again some pictures of how they were living. They were thatched roofs, and they were even having some livestock with them. And below you will see a picture. This is regarding one temple which they made for themselves at that time. This is 1960s, 70s in certain areas in Clarendon. So as you can see, their contribution in the next slide will be about reviving the sugar and rice plantations, and they introduced several new crops. They also saved a lot of money, because of which many would be able to go back, and then they slowly started getting uplifting themselves in the society from indentured labor. They became landowners, they became house owners, they also were trading with cattle and so on. They were very enterprising individuals, bringing the enterprising style from India. Indians are very enterprising, and they are very competitive. So that thing was there in them, and it was wonderful for them to slowly find a home away from home. But it was not easy. I listed out few challenges which they faced and may have faced. In these books talk about many stories about individuals facing different kind of harsh conditions and atrocities also at several times. There were also cases of people brought into Jamaica on contracts, but then when they reached here, they found that they were asked to do different kinds of work. For example, there is a story of priest Ganguram, who was brought in, but then he was asked to do farm work, but he was a priest, he was a temple person, and so on. But after all, they were stuck here in some manner that they could not really, but so rich that they could go back. So they integrated into the society slowly and became part of Jamaica. And then slow on came later waves of also came later on in 1910s came the business and Sindhi and Gujarati businessmen. They also bigger waves came in 1960s and 70s, and then later on came doctors, professionals like chartered accountants and teachers and professionals. So all in all, by I think 1950, 1995 time when Mr. Man Singh wrote the books, the population here was typically around the number of 70,000. And there were strong organizations which came into being. The East Indian organization was there, one of the community organization, which tried to preserve the culture and life of the Indians in Jamaica. So I have listed, for example, Sanatan Dharma Mandir is still there in Kingston. There was an Indo-Jamaican Cultural Society till some time back. Now it has given way to different societies like Indian Cultural Society in Jamaica. The National Council for Indian Culture is trying to keep that old tradition still alive. Now, the next slide will give you the names. You must have seen these names many times. Bandhu, Bagalu, Bihari, Ram Prasad, Bodhwa. So in these 180 years, what we see today now in the next slide is about preserving and shaping the culture of Indians and also mixing it with the Jamaican culture to have a unique culture of its own. In fact, not only in Jamaica, but other Caribbean countries like Guyana, Suriname, Trinidad, the culture there is very unique. This was ancient culture with mix of modernity. Yeah. In India, the culture has evolved in a different manner in the last 200 years. But these people have got a very strong tinge of the ancient culture.
Yes.
They still speak the old language very purely. They still have memories. They still have the way of puja, the way of life, the way of prayers in the old manner. Their wedding ceremonies also have that kind of old touch. Um, Culinary influence, if we'll talk about, we all know about the Indian touch in the Jamaica,
Yes.
about curry goat, dal roti, kalalus, and khichris and fuloris. Also, you will see that the ganja, marijuana,
Yes.
was traced back to the Indian child labor in India. And not only that, I have a picture of one Rastafarian also. The culture got heavily influenced by the Indian way of life and the usage of ganja. So all this has become a part of the Jamaican society in different ways. Even the Madras cloth, the way they
Yeah.
dressed, that tying up and the skirt in the top, that also is still seen in several places. The Indians continued to celebrate various festivals, like if you'll say Fagwa, Ram Navami, Diwali, Hosei in Clarendon is a very big and remarkable event, which is worth seeing and worth watching. They build a full Hosei structure, and which they carry
We call it
forward.
a
I have a
tower.
picture about it. Yeah,
We call it a
and then they
tower.
dance with the nagaras and tasa. The we call it dhol, the drums. They still dance that. And so these pictures are some of these old pictures from the books which I read. I have brought in them here. You will see that the dance and very Indian still, they do. We still see this in on arrival day when we celebrate on the 10th of May. This year we will be celebrating it in 11th of May in Chedwin Park.
Oh,
So you will see some flavors of these activities
we
and
should come
cultural.
and cover that.
Absolutely, you're most welcome to be there in Chedwin Park this 11th of May, Sunday. Some pictures you see the Rastafarian, these hair of Rastafarian is beaded, and this is what our in India you will still find similar picture of sadhus, the Mahatmas, the
sadhus,
saints who have
right.
similar kind of hairstyle, and they also smoke ganja and do. The above picture on the left hand side is of Holi festival which we celebrate, and the right hand side is the Fagwa celebration. They are the same festival. One is celebrated in the old style from in northern part of India. The other is much more now the common contemporary celebrations. So in these so many years, you will see many big names in Jamaica are traced to Indian origin people. Here you will see two temples which are there in Kingston. One is Prema Satsang and one is Sanatan Dharma Mandir, the temple. And they have all the gods which are there. They regularly meet every Sunday and on occasion of festivities, keeping the culture and the traditions of India alive. The next picture also will show you about the Indian cuisine, as you can see, curry, goat. And the next picture, please, if you can see. We have certain Indians name. You see on the left hand side the design made up. It's kind of a tantra kind of a design which is
Yeah.
used to make rangoli, the design on the floor,
On the
which is
floor,
made
the
for
tiles.
for making
Centerpieces.
correct for doing some prayers. And below you will see the dance of Indian style dance, Bollywood dance, which is being made. Chedwin Park, some years back, this was happening. Okay. So we have, I told you, out of many, one people. So Indian heritage also has been mixed very, very uniquely in the Jamaican culture heritage, contributing it to the out of many, one people idea of Jamaica. And so, as you know, the cultural interaction between India and Jamaica is still in the modern world is very, very intense and active. In the age of media, internet streaming, and social media, we see so many Jamaicans and so many Indians exchanging. Jamaican music and dance in India is very famous, reggae, and similarly Indian
Yeah.
culture, Bollywood, etc., is very famous in Jamaica. We also have a memorandum of understanding between the two governments on cultural exchange program, which is for 5 years, starting 2024-2029. Our Prime Minister, during October 2024, had received Prime Minister Holness in India, and during that time we signed several MOUs. So two were related to culture and sports, strengthening our people-to-people linkages. So in the end, I would just like to comment that yes, the legacy of Indians in Jamaica is very strong and very, very colorful, which has contributed a lot to the bridging between the two countries and people to people linkages. Also, here you will see this picture is very interesting. It's the inauguration of the plaque, the memorabilia, which is commemorated in the landing of the first indentured laborers in harbor. It's still there, and it's a good place to visit. So this was India arrival date, 10th May 2025. We celebrate this year, as I mentioned, it's being
On the
celebrated on
11th.
11th of May.
Yeah.
So this is, I thought I would like to share with little what I have known in the last 9 months. But seeing from my understanding right now, there is still a lot of work which is required to know about these people, and we have in the Caribbean region and also all the indentured labor countries trying to come together to form some kind of academic research centers to contribute to these important studies, because very little is known about Indian
Yeah.
contribution into Jamaica or in these countries, and it is very important you also for an institute to see opportunities and avenues on how to
Definitely.
study this important aspect of the Indian contribution in Caribbean region.
Yes.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you very much, Your Excellency Joshi. Several things jumped out at me. Very, very, very happy that you made this presentation. And yes, I agree with you totally that not much is known about Indians in Jamaica. For example, myself, I only got exposed to Indians in high school. So, like, I would have a friend by the name of Anirada Maharaj, and then I would have another friend with the surname Gopi. And you only meet them and you only spend time with them during school time, but you don't know much about their culture. We went home with the was it Ramchandanis, I think? And we know that we got a little insight, and, Mala showed us her shrine that they had in the house and stuff. But Jamaicans on the whole don't know a lot about India. So definitely I'm going to take you up on the research. You said that there were some older Indians that had information. We could, as the African Caribbean Institute, interview them as part of our memory bank, because that's what we do. We keep the memories and the histories and the stories of people from the Caribbean. So African, Indian, Chinese. And I just want to big up Jamaica for being like the multicultural capital of the world. More than anywhere else in the world, Jamaica shows the world how different people can coexist peacefully.
Absolutely.
Definitely.
No, we will be very happy, yeah, to see that kind of project initiated by the Africans.
Yes. And you also spoke about the cultural exchange. I don't know how many people know about that. Probably universities. That's definitely something that researchers could benefit from, to go and to come
Correct.
as well.
So in addition to that, we also have certain programs which promote Know India in Jamaica, around the world. We have this special program called as Know India program, which is focused on persons of Indian origin. And this year, we are planning to send 2 persons of Indian origin to India on a 2-week tour, in which they get acclimatized, they know what India is all about, they
That's
also see what
great.
is the culture. So we do this every year, and it's a very successful program. Not only that, we also give certain scholarships, and all are open, Jamaicans are open, so they can go and choose to study in India, also know about India through these scholarships. We have also short-term training courses, which are currently open to the government officials. But if there are eligible candidates, interested, keen candidates, if government of Jamaica feels that they can do some good work in India and know about India, it is a good opportunity for them to visit India and learn about India and bring those information back to Jamaica,
Yeah.
and make Jamaica aware about India. Though the distances of the two countries do pose a challenge, but
Well, we
we are
got
trying to
here.
work. We are trying to work in some manner in the Indian High Commission to share what is India and what is the potential of our relationship. Where can we take it through these programs?
I am happy when you spoke about Indians and what they endured in Jamaica while they were here, because many times the stories that we are told are about Africans. And the fact that Indians are maintaining their culture and trying to preserve their identity. But you said that they still have the old language, they still have the old dance. That's probably not the same in India right now because India has evolved. It's the same thing for Africans here as it concerns our religious practices, our beliefs. We want to keep our African identity, but the memories that we bring from Africa at that time, it's not being reflected in Africa right now because Africa has evolved and India has evolved. So it's good to know that at this 180th celebration that they have held on to the memories that not even, if I could say, the motherland has. So it serves as a reminder not just to East Indians here, but to Indians on lands.
Absolutely. Not only Jamaicans, but as I mentioned earlier, the difficulties with the Indians, origin people, the indentured labor, faced in Jamaica. One of them was that they had to do away with their cultural practices. And over a period of time, generations over generations, because there was not much push social requirement, and they intermixed with different races in Jamaica. They probably were not able to carry forward the original information.
Right.
Also, there were the colonial pressure. For example, marriage was mentioning about. Also, religion.
The
So they
drums.
were treated as pagans and heathens, and they were forced to take different religion for the convenience of the colonial masters. And because of that, these 36,000 or so Indians who were here, slowly their offsprings, they became distant with their Indian way of life. Not only religion, but the Indian practices, the
Right.
what they had in India. They mixed up, and very few revivalism movement were
Yeah.
there to link them back to India. In other countries, for example, Fiji, Trinidad, Guyana, though the colonial masters tried to change these practices, but the Indian diaspora there was much stronger, much larger, and they preserved them. So that's why there is a difference between the other Caribbean countries and Jamaica to a large extent, where here our old Indian diaspora generations are not much aware of, or they preserve their old culture. So the
Yeah.
idea is to revive that, and that can only be done by bringing out more publications like the wonderful work done by
Right.
the Mansinghs and by Mr. Rain. So, and other also, there have been certain other works also done, certain research papers are done about, but they are more in general Caribbean. So Jamaica, maybe we can think of doing this more.
Another thing that we do at the ACIG with cultural retention and ensuring information is to have a film screening. I don't know if you have films that you could share with the Jamaican audience that gives information, or docufilms, because sometimes we have film screening and we would invite the schools and they would get that information, and we have
Yeah,
a
so
short panel question and
definitely.
answers.
No, this is a good. So in 2022, we did a documentary with the help of Public Broadcasting Corporation of Jamaica. And this documentary has been very well regarded. Not only that, Mr. Dr. Akshay Mansingh also has been taking out some documentaries in this
Oh,
regard.
that's good.
He has traveled to different parts, like on music, he has done. He has also given various interviews, and other Indians also keep doing it. But yes, there has been little concerted effort.
Yeah.
We do organize film festival, film shows in the Indian High Commission. Because of COVID, probably that practice is not there, but we are going to restart that practice. Maybe we'll also show some Indian documentaries about what
Okay.
Indian culture is and Indian culture can be, and try to dig in if we have certain video recordings of old to bring them together.
Yes. So you know how Jamaicans are. Well, I hope you do, in
Yes.
terms of their national pride. And it's as if once you're born on the island, Yes, you're Indian. Yes, you're African. Yes, you're Chinese, but you're still Jamaican. What are some of the similarities you would have noted between, or should I say, among Jamaican Indians and just African Jamaicans?
No, you see,
That's
it's a very
distinct.
interesting question. From my eyes, I have seen that Jamaica itself is very unique. It's a beautiful country. It's beautiful beaches and mountains and coffee and all things. Not only that, but the way of life in Jamaica is very unique. People here come across as very warm, very friendly, very too friendly sometimes,
Yes.
and they love dance, they love music, and so it's very difficult to accept when you look very closely and try to guess that whether this person has Indian descent or not, or this person has African descent or not. It's very difficult to differentiate in the mannerism, in the way people go. But yes, there are some Indian families from olden times who do keep certain treasures from the past, and they do know about their lineage, which they share. Um, but more or less, I think there is not a very clear cut difference. I have been to Mandeville, and I have seen the way the Indians live. I have been to certain other areas like Grandon and Westmoreland also. Now, I didn't find it much different, like what they
Okay.
would be doing, because Indian way of life would be they have a temple, their marriages, their food, the way they live. So that is very unique.
Okay.
But here, I don't see much of this
Not much of a
difference.
difference.
Yes, where people eat jerk chicken and people eat dal roti, curry goat in the same manner. We have got Indian restaurants here, by the way, in Kingston,
Yes.
and I see equally good Jamaicans, African Jamaicans, probably there more than what I would find.
Okay. I'm getting a signal from my producer to get the questions online, but I'm not seeing them showing right here. So show me the questions while I speak with His Excellency. The suppression, I should say, or the oppression of East Indian lifestyle in Jamaica seem mostly to have come from the colonizers, just in the way of the African, because the way that you can see the difference in Mandeville and Clarendon would say to me that East Indians are accepted among the Jamaican population as just Jamaicans, and they are comfortable, and we see where they're allowed to maintain whatever memory of their existence they have. And that is what I love about Jamaica. So sometimes Indians are just affectionately called Indians, and Chinese are called Chinese, and they call you by what they see you as, but you are our Jamaican Indian, right? You don't
Absolutely,
exactly, you
absolutely.
belong to
So
us.
this is unique in Jamaica. That's what
Yes,
Jamaica is, a very
and
unique culture on its own.
we fully accept everything that India. I mean, I'm sure I speak for more than myself, not just the curry, but even our similarities in our love for cricket that we still see in our sports, our love for cricket. And even with the madras, a lot of people didn't know that. I'm glad that you brought that up. You know,
Yes,
the
the Madras
madras that we
cloth.
love as our national dress. And I'm trying to remember what other similar thing that we take for granted. The movies, yes, the
Yeah, the
films
movies.
that are so popular on local television. And I remember there were some businessmen, some salespersons that came, I think in the early 2000s. I don't remember their names, but they were always, they also did their program via television as well. So is this 180th celebration public, that the public can come, or is it just Indians that would usually come
No, it
out?
is an open. So I observed that the India Arrival Day is the only free open event which is organized in Jamaica at that
Okay.
scale
And what can
in
people
Chedwin Park.
expect?
So there are it's a full kind of a Indian carnival exhibition kind of a there. There are Indian dances, Indian food. There is Indian songs, and you will find people also dressed up in Indian dresses coming. So it's celebration of India in Jamaica. It's it's been celebrated, I think, for many years now. 1998, I'm told, that by the National Council for Indian Culture. It's a magnificent initiative. And my thing is that from the High Commission, I would like to see it becoming more and more bigger event
Yes.
over the years to come. And I commend the National Council of the Indian Culture and especially the Ministry of Culture of Jamaica, which supports it in the very large manner, and also the Foreign Affairs Ministry here by encouraging this activity in Jamaica.
Okay. So I'm turning to our guests online, and one is asking if you have any idea of the number of Indians now in Jamaica currently.
Yeah, so we go by the data which is related in the various sources, and it's very difficult to do any clear-cut number identification, but it can be anywhere between 70,000 to 100,000 Indian. This is including the Indian diaspora, Indian origin people, as well as the Indian passport holders, which is increasing day by day, the number of Indian passport holders in Jamaica, the professionals and businessmen.
Okay, so you check them by passports.
We do not have a system of
census.
We can't really, only the government of Jamaica, the immigration and the census authorities can identify it after doing census. So High Commission doesn't do the identification of numbering. So we only go by estimates as of now by the immigration. So thinking that if it was 70,000 in 1995 and over a period of time, the descent, how many births would have taken place, and then the number of increasing Indians, tourism arrival. So if you extrapolate it, it can touch 100,000 or so.
Because I'm thinking 70, that sounds small.
Yes.
You know, we've been here a long time. It sounds a lot more than that, but let the numbers speak. And Akil Carter is making a comment about masquerading festivals or parades and highlighting the similarities between African Jankunu and Indian Jose.
Correct. So, in India, we have similar kind of parades. But these parades are more or less have religious connotations, religion. So, Jose is again a very Islamic religion originating from the Islamic religion event in which they commemorate the Hussein. And that's how High Hussein, Jose, it came to evolve. Similarly, we also have the big parade of Ganpati Visarjan, like the immersion of the god Ganpati in the river. So you will find the same kind of huge parade in certain parts of India, into the streets and then going down. Then we have Durga Puja, in Hindu religion, about the worship of goddess Durga, which also evolves into a very huge parade on the streets. So that kind of masquerade. It's not a masquerade, but yes, people do come in, dance, and then they put colors and they
I think
sing
that's what they refer
religious, but it is more religious.
It's more religious.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Right, because Jankunu is not very religious.
Correct. So we really do not have something like Jankunu or the carnival in Jamaica here. Yeah, we do have a national parade which is about the celebration of India's Republic Day, which is held on 26th of January every year in the morning in India, in the capital city.
And that's celebrated here in Jamaica as well.
Yeah, we do celebrate, but we don't do the parade. So that national parade is about the whole of India is exhibited in kind of flotillas, and that's how it is taken.
Okay.
So if you want to know about India, I think you should see that parade, and you will know what India is about.
Just keep us on your mailing list, and we'll send a few researchers
you can
and
see
documents.
It's telecast on television.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
So it would be 25th night here every year.
Definitely. Most Jamaicans know about the Jose. I don't know if in 2 minutes you could tell us the story behind the Jose celebrations.
See, the Jose celebration is, again, as I told, evolved from the Islamic celebration of Muhammad, Prophet Muhammad. And there is a religious practice of taking the procession in which they say Hi Hussein, and they remember
Does
the
it
Prophet.
involve brothers or are the
No, no,
brothers
it is
prophets
about the
or?
community. And
Okay.
so in Clarendon, there is a family which I have been told, and I have not, because I came here in June last year, and this is I couldn't go because I was in Bahamas. So the family here builds a structure, and then the procession is taken place. So it is a
Okay.
evolution of the old
So that family maintains a
practice. So
celebration.
it is the only family I'm told that it is a very unique structure which he can make on his own
We would
single-handedly.
like to come with you when you're going.
Yes, I would also love to go
Okay.
and visit them this time.
Okay. Let me see the other comments online. I think we've discussed many of these. Oh, there is one from a Miss Williams. She's asking, what are the types of support programs that the Commission offers to the community in Jamaica? Like, what's your
Oh,
work like
so
in the
we work
community?
very, yes, it's a good question. We work very closely with the Indian diaspora and their associations here. As I told you, we have Sanatan Dharm Mandir, we have Prema Satsang, we have Indian Cultural Society in Jamaica. We also have the National Council for Indian Culture, which celebrates the forthcoming Chedwin Park India Arrival Day. So, Indian High Commission is always there to support these organizations and individuals in organizing these events. We work very closely with them in putting up the program together, in also celebrating festivals like Holi and Diwali. If you may have noticed, we had given even an advertisement this year regarding the Holi festival, which is celebrated in the month of March, and it is a color festival. So we work very closely with the Indian Cultural Society in Jamaica to celebrate this festival. It was in Hope Gardens. Every year it is
Yeah,
organized in Hope Gardens, and all of you should make it a
a
possibility
calendar
of joining
event.
this
Yeah.
event. It's wonderful, fun-filled event with a message of love, peace, and brotherhood, and also about victory of truth over evil. Similarly, we also organize dance and cultural events. And also, I was talking about reviving the old film uh, shows about the Indian Bollywood movies here
Yeah.
in Jamaica. Uh, there are various support structures. We have the Indian Council for Cultural Relation in India, which works to promote Indian culture, Bollywood, dance, music abroad. So we seek their help on and off with various kinds of support to these organizations and facilitate these events in Jamaica.
Okay. So I'm not seeing many more questions online. So my final question would be, seeing that you're celebrating the 180th year, in regards to Jamaica's independence and Grand Gala, is there any collaboration or any reaching out to the Ministry of Culture
Yes,
to
so we work very
present?
closely with Ministry of Culture. As I told you, the Chedwin Park event, India Arrival Day, is fully supported in and is celebrated in collaboration with Ministry of Culture. So uh, this whole year, 180 years of arrival of Indians in Jamaica will be celebrated in various forms. We are also doing a curtain raiser in Emancipation Park on 9th of May at 6 o'clock. And yeah, your institute is most invited to join that
Okay.
event in the evening. That will be a curtain raiser, and there will be dance troupe coming from India and local dance troops
And
who
that's
are
a
in Chedwin Park.
collaboration.
So those who cannot go to Chedwin Park usually
Oh,
can see that kind of performances
so is
here.
it like a smaller
It's smaller,
version to
yes.
what's
It's
in
just
Shenman
dance
Park?
performances in the evening, and it's a curtain raiser where we will introduce
Okay.
with the working closely with Ministry of Culture and Entertainment
Okay.
to introduce that Chedwin Parks event. We'll like raising the curtain.
Okay. I think we've answered many of these
Yes,
questions.
that
That
is
were,
very.
we spoke about the collaboration, we spoke about the upcoming events, we spoke about what to expect, we spoke about the similarities, and we spoke about what the celebration in Shedman Park is going to be like. Is there anything else you'd like to share with us that you think is important for the audience to know about the upcoming celebration?
Yes, I would invite on behalf of the National Cultural Society all of you to Chedwin Park, and also, if possible, to the Emancipation Park, even at 9th May and on 11th May. And to not to mention that the cultural and the heritage linkages between two countries is very, very important and the most powerful way of bringing two countries closer. And India and Jamaica, through its strong Indian diaspora, is we are very proud of the Indian diaspora, and this cultural linkage is growing stronger day by day. And I think that India and Jamaica's close and friendly relations are not only now restricted to this cultural stream, but also expanding into areas of development cooperation, into areas of education cooperation, healthcare cooperation, in areas of support in natural disasters. In fact, today only there was a handing over ceremony of 60 million Jamaican dollars worth of consignment generators, medicines from gifted by India to Jamaica.
Oh, that's great.
So the people linkages is very important in
Yeah.
the building bridges between two countries, and we are very happy to see that India and Jamaica are very close because of the contribution of Indians in Jamaica.
Yeah, thank you very much, Your Excellency. You know, many times these current things that are happening are not being documented, or they are not being shared. For example, in our school curricula, you don't see these things. It's always things from the past. But we are here as the ACIJ. It is our mandate to share with the public what happens with all the people of Jamaica. So when you have those information to share, do not feel afraid to reach
No,
out
thank
to
you
us
so much.
and help us to just amplify and articulate the message that you have. Thank you for coming to Curating Culture and to the African Caribbean Institute. It was great having you for today's
Yeah,
show.
thank you to African Caribbean Institute for giving this opportunity.
Yes.
Thank you.
Well, everyone, let me update you with our upcoming events for the month of May. On May the 6th, as you know, May is Child's Month in Jamaica. And here at the African Caribbean Institute of Jamaica, we'll be having our annual Read Across Jamaica Day. We'll be having that on May the 6th, where we'll be going out to schools and reading. Readers will be from among the staff and for volunteers. As well as on May the 20th this year, we'll be celebrating Africa Day in schools across Jamaica on May the 20th. For the 28th of May, the ACIJ will be hosting the Revival Conference and Church Service. You will see more about that on our social media pages, and also on our mailing list. We'll be sending out this information. And of course, our dancehall male fashion exhibition is still up and open to the public. It goes until June the 30th. So feel free to come by and see our exhibition. And I just want to give shout out and big up to Miss Nakita West for sponsoring my outfit today, my sari that I so shyly wore today. And thank you for being with us today. See you again for another Curating Culture seminar. My producer is telling me to tell you to follow us on Instagram, on YouTube, like, share, comment, subscribe. And we're also on the X. Yes, I just aged myself. We're also on the X. That was Twitter. So guys, thanks for being with us at Curating Culture. See you again the next Thursday, the next first Thursday in June.